Imagine spending decades in school, earning degrees, and mastering complex theories, only to find that none of it helps in investing and trading. It's a harsh reality that even leaves the brightest of minds confused, frustrated, and broke. But why is that? How can someone be the top of their class, yet struggle to succeed in investing and trading? In this video, I'm exposing why traditional education fails in the markets and revealing 3 game-changing strategies that you can use to succeed, no matter your education. What I'm about to reveal could be the difference between staying stuck and breaking through to real success. Now, before you start thinking that this video is just a knock on education, let me be clear. Traditional education can be helpful in some ways. Before going all in on trading and entrepreneurship, I actually trained to be a doctor, and it taught me so many skills like resilience. However, traditional education does have little application to the real world and business. When we were cavemen and we needed to hunt animals, do you think our elders were like, listen guys, we need to hunt animals, but before we do that, let me do a quick PowerPoint presentation in the classroom just to go over the theory of it? Probably not, right? Because whilst the theory may have some value, it wasn't pertinent to actually physically hunting animals. We just learned the skill of hunting by having mentors that showed us what to do, and we developed experience. The truth is, traits that can make someone succeed in school or a 9-to-5 job or in the corporate world can actually be a huge disadvantage in the markets. I actually had a client who studied finance in Oxford University and spent years in investment banking. And naturally, you would assume he's going to be excellent at investing and trading. But after listening to his story, I started to realize exactly what he was doing wrong and what was holding him back. He was heavily reliant on news and always kept up to date with recent developments, but he just wasn't quite able to translate that into profitable trading and investing. He faced many losses and at best was a break-even trader. This story is actually more common than you'd think. I teach trading and investing to clients all over the world, from US, Canada, UK and Europe, from age 25 to 65 to 70s. And this is a common recurring thing I see all the time. People who've excelled in school and are used to being at the top of their class, but as soon as they step into the world of trading and investing, they struggle. But why? The first is over-reliance on logic and theory. In academia and many professions, there is often a tendency to analyze, deduce, and apply logic to situations. And this is often rewarded. But the markets are driven by human emotions and unexpected events. And trading and investing is really a game of probabilities, not certainties. Also, educated individuals often fall into the trap of believing that if they just figure out, they will succeed in the markets. But the markets aren't some math problem to solve. They actually involve navigating changing market conditions. In the markets, you're dealing with some of the brightest minds. The best traders and investors actually make more than celebrities and movie actresses because they manage billions for hedge funds. As I tell my own clients, trading and investing is an art and a science. It's not about what you know, it's about how you use what you know. The second is 9-to-5 jobs and academics are taught to trade time for money. In 9-to-5 jobs, your income is related to the hours worked as opposed to the output. I actually had a client who works in the corporate world. He told me how he would start his work at 8 a.m. and he would finish the work by around 3 p.m. because he was just so efficient. But then he would have a colleague who started the work at the exact same time at 8 a.m. But this colleague would take more breaks and he would just take his time and finish the work by 5 p.m. Now, those two people did the exact same output, but my client's colleague was perceived as more hardworking purely because he spent more time in the office and he was more visible by all the other stuff. And so this just sums up how in 9-to-5 jobs, you really prioritized in spending time as opposed to the output. And I remember my first 9-to-5 job many years ago. I had to physically clock in and clock out. My income was related to the hours worked as opposed to my productivity. In investing and trading, your income isn't related to the number of trades you make. It's more quality over quantity. For example, someone could make 4 to 8 trades a month and make tens of thousands, and substantially more than someone else who makes, say, 50 trades a month. Another important part of trading is knowing when not to trade. And this mindset shift is especially difficult for people who've been conditioned to trade time for money by 9-to-5 jobs. The third issue is something I call analysis paralysis. Educated people are often focused on gathering as much information as possible, then analyzing every possible situation before then making a decision. The problem with that is the markets are constantly changing. And if you fail to act fast, you can miss opportunities, especially if you're trying to wait for the perfect setup. And sometimes the stars aren't magically always aligned, and you're not going to get this magical message from the universe telling you to enter a position or a trade. It just doesn't work like that. After all, trading and investing is 80% execution and 20% knowledge. So why does all of this matter so much? Well, success in the markets requires a different kind of intelligence. And I like to call it market intelligence. And I would say this involves a combination of intuition, which you gain from experience, understanding human nature and behavior, but also having the humility to understand that you don't know everything, and also being able to let go of things you can't control. Sometimes highly educated people come into the markets with the mindset that they can outsmart the markets. But the market doesn't care about you. The market doesn't care about your degrees. It cares about your discipline, your ability to manage risk, manage your emotions, and also adapt to changing market conditions. I remember in school, we were always taught to raise our hand to answer questions. And there was always only one right answer. And if you got the answer wrong, you were really frowned upon. But in trading and investing, it's a game of probabilities, not certainties. And this is something that many highly educated people fail to fathom. They sometimes try to seek certainty in a world of uncertainty. When they don't find it, they get frustrated, make impulsive decisions, and ultimately lose money. So how do you break this cycle to be a profitable investor and trader, whether you're highly educated or not? Here are 3 shifts you need to make. First of all, embrace uncertainty. Just accept that the markets have an element of uncertainty and make decisions whilst managing risk and based on probabilities. Step 2 is to simplify your strategy. Many educated people overcomplicate their trading and investing with a plethora of information, which ultimately just leads to analysis paralysis. The main thing is to backtest your strategy and ensure that it stands the test of time across 100, 200, and 1,000 trades. Step 3 is to develop emotional intelligence. Your ability to manage your fear, greed, and overconfidence is crucial in trading. And it's not just about what you know, it's about how you manage your emotions under pressure. And doing things like journaling, meditation can really help you to reflect on this. So, if you've ever felt like your education isn't helping you in the markets, don't worry, you're not alone. And it's not too late to change your approach. If you found this video valuable, then give a thumbs up and share it with a friend who you think needs to hear this. And I'm curious, do you feel the need to be absolutely certain before entering an investment or trade? Or have you ever overanalyzed a situation until the opportunity passes you by? I would love to hear your experiences. Let me know in the comment section below.